Good evening, YouTube. This is Super Bob Muffin, and I pretty much wanted to explain my reasons why I think that this current generation of consoles just sucks. Now, my biggest pet peeve about this generation is the hardware itself. Now, I know some people that are on their sixth Xbox 360 or their third PS3 because you know about the Xbox's red ring of death or the PS3's yellow light of death, which I don't understand how these companies can make all these next gen systems, but they can only they can't even work for like for more for 2 years. I mean, my 360 is starting to die out. It's having problems with disk opening, and sometimes it won't read any disk at all, and the disk can be brand new. And 2 years ago, I had to like go through a new Wii because the old one I had stopped working, so I had to buy the new black ones. It's just ridiculous. I have an N64 that still works. I have the regular PlayStation that still works. I have a Game Boy, still works. Game Boy Color, that still works. I have the PS2, the fat one, still works. I have the Nintendo Entertainment System. That thing still works. So why can't these next gen games last so long? What is the deal? Did the manufacturers just decide, okay, we're gonna have better graphics, gameplay, and everything, but we're not gonna worry about the console's reliability? Nope, because people will just buy another one anyway. That's more money for us, despite our warranty. My second reason why I think this console generation is the worst is online passes. I mean, come on. Like, you already bought the game for $60. Why should it matter? Why do you need a pass to play online? Now, I'm just gonna assume that maybe it's like, when you take a used game, when you take a game and you sell it, GameStop puts it up, it's used, and game companies they can't profit off of used games at all. But I think they included additional online passes to where people would have to buy their game new. I mean, I did that with Battlefield 3 January of this year, where I went to the store and I bought it. It was about $47. So I'm ready. I'm about to go home. I install and everything. But then I find out that an online pass was required, but I didn't have an online pass, so I had to go and spend $20, and I ended up spending more than what I would have if I bought the game new, and that was ridiculous. Mass Effect 3 did the same thing. You bought the game, but there was an online pass, which meant if somebody bought the game used, they couldn't get on. They couldn't go online. All they had was the campaign. That was it. Now, my third reason is developers abusing the way DLC is handled. Now, we all have this problem, especially when it comes to pre-order bonuses. Now, that is the stupidest idea I've ever heard for a game company. Why would you want to take a certain mission or character that's already on the disc, but have it as pre-order bonuses? That just lets me know that you took something out of the game. You took something that's in the game out for people to pre-order because they want people to pay extra. They didn't pre-order the game because you're greedy. That's all it is. It's corporate greed. Mass Effect 3 did that. I bought the standard edition with $60, but that's when I found out that the game had day one DLC because I pre-ordered my game way too late. So I got the game, but 2 days later I had to go back to GameStop and pay $10 more just to get the DLC for it. And clearly I was not happy about that. And it's gotten so bad where DLC now you can buy character alternate appearances in the game market, which is stupid. At some point you have to ask yourself who's going to be dumb enough to go and buy alternate outfits for the game. During the last generation, the generation before that, we unlocked characters' alternate appearance by completing certain in-game tasks, such as beating the game on the hardest difficulty or beating the game in a certain time limit. But now it's gotten bad to the point where now we just have to buy these appearances that have no effect on the gameplay whatsoever. So it's just a big waste of money. It's ridiculous. Fourth reason is games today are just, I feel like just games today, there's just no challenge involved. I feel like games today just hold your hand all the way through to the end. I mean, you see a bunch of games that have a bunch of quick time events. They say, press this button immediately or you're going to die. I think it's just ridiculous that as you play through the game, the game pretty much just explains everything you have to do. Now, I remember last generation, we didn't have that. Like, during the sixth generation of consoles and the fifth generation consoles, they didn't do that. Which means the only way to figure out what to do, you pretty much have to fiddle around with the controllers and just wander around until you figure out what to do. Because the game really didn't give out hints, but I kind of like that. It challenged you. You had to think. But nowadays, games are just simply too easy. Now, I know there are a few exceptions. Obviously, you can play games like Halo on Legendary difficulty, Call of Duty on Veteran. You got games like Dark Souls, which is just really hard. But very few games today that are just challenging. Every other game you play is just too easy. My fifth reason why this generation sucks, there's just way too many shooters, and I think part of it is due to its graphics. Some people are more into graphics. They figured if a game has really good graphics, then it should play realistically. And I don't understand why developers are just making games that are just catering. They're just catering their games to like the casual gamers. It's not about the hardcore gamer anymore. They figure, oh, okay, we figured more people, they want gun games where you just go around, all you do is shoot people. That's why I still don't understand why Call of Duty is so big as it is. All you do is just go around and just gun people down. People say Call of Duty is not the same. It is the same. It's the same game, but just in a different format. Halo's the same game, just in a different format. Gears of War, it's the same game, just in a different format. And what you do, all you do is shoot and kill things. That's all you do. And I think it's just absolutely ridiculous how much money that these games make. And it's just sad. You see so many we're seeing a decline in other games such as platformers, racing games, puzzle games, and RPGs. Now, I know we've got a few RPGs every now and then, but some people don't like the way some of these RPGs are. Like, take games like Final Fantasy 13. Not everyone liked the game, but I thought it was pretty decent the first time I got my hands on it. So I'm not really going to complain about that game. I mean, no game's perfect, but they did make up for the problems in the sequel, though, which is really good by the way. But we just have too many shooters. There's just too many. It's like everywhere I go, I can't even go to a single GameStop and just look to my right, say, oh, shooter game, shooter game, shooter game, shooter game. It's just sad. My sixth reason, it's like, I miss offline gaming. There's hardly any games you can do offline gaming. Everything's online now. It's online co-op. Hey, you want to play with your friend? Well, it's online co-op. That means no more couch gaming, which I miss the most. I remember back in the golden days where, I got back home from school. I did my homework and everything, and my friends were free. So I called them up and say, oh, hey guys, you guys want to come over? You want to play some GoldenEye 007? And they'd be like, yeah, man, we'll play that. Me and my three other buddies would just sit down, just play that all day. We had other games such as Mario Party, we had Super Smash Bros, all that good stuff. Nowadays, it's like the only way you can play with your friends now is that you just have to meet online. Now, if some of your friends didn't have internet or just had like a bad connection, you really couldn't play with them. It's just so sad. It's just so sad. We need more online games. Now, Call of Duty and Halo, yeah, they're kind of in the right direction by adding 4-player split screen for like the multiplayer. So that's good. They're trying to bring back classic times, which I appreciate that. I appreciate that in games and all. But possibly my seventh reason, possibly my biggest reason why this generation sucks, is the fan base, especially like the console fanboys. Now, last generation, I had the GameCube, and my friend had the Xbox. Now, we saw commercials for Halo, and we saw commercials for Super Smash Brothers Melee. I had Melee, he had Halo, and I wanted to play. I wanted to play Halo, but I didn't have an Xbox. But he would let me come over and come play the game with him, and I would let him come over and come play Super Smash Bros. With me. We didn't care about the console. It was all about the games. It was all about the games. Now it's to the point where people like you have Xbox fanboys that won't even touch the PS3, despite the benefits of PS3. Like no system's perfect. Okay, every system has its flaws, but you see guys. For example, I have a friend who's just an Xbox fanboy. Now I tell him about good games on PS3 such as Infamous 1 and 2, Heavy Rain, and I tell him about it from time to time. I say, dude, those just seem like really good games. He says, oh, what are they on Xbox? No, they're on PS3. Like, dude, PS3 sucks. Like I'm not gonna waste my money on PS3. Like, why? I mean, for one, the online service is free, and you get PlayStation Plus, which means you can get games at a discount or just get entirely free games. But well, why should it matter about the fanboy? I'm glad I'm not a fanboy because I got all three. I got Xbox, PS3, and Wii. You know, I'm a big open-minded gamer. I like to play outside the box. Just not just what everyone else is doing. It's just ridiculous. Which is why I just started just going back to retro gaming because I get the game and the game's complete. There's no DLC, no online passes, or any crap like that. And it's part of the reason why I've officially gone back to handheld gaming. So, which is why I'm not really on the PS3 and 360 that much anymore because I'm just losing interest in this generation of consoles, and I just feel like it's just going to get worse from here on out. But anyway, those are my reasons why this generation sucks. Like my video and subscribe, and I really appreciate it. But, stay tuned. So I'll be doing a collection video of the N64 games that I currently have in my possession. So stay tuned. Peace out.